What's up, guys? We back with Funky Uncles, episode 11, part 2. Part 1 went so well. We talking about sports and everything. So we appreciate all the followers, all the viewers, engagement, viewership. We appreciate it all. Without you guys, we couldn't build. And here we go. So we're going to bring some guys back up and continue this discussion. Yeah. What's hear me? Yeah, man. That hour went by pretty fast, bro.
Oh man. Oh man.
You know?
Good combo. I mean, good combo.
What's up, Dunk Rider? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Mike. Much love, bro.
Yeah. Dunk Rider, what's up, bro? Let's see, trying to get DR back up. But like we were saying, man, hey, your Knicks, man, if you get them 3 dookies there, y'all may have something, man.
Hey, it's coming. It's coming. I hope he stays. If he stays healthy, it's gonna be something, because it's a whole nother level of energy that you play with.
Mm-hmm.
When you playing with your homeboys and you playing with people that you really, really enjoy playing with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes a difference, man. A more familiar support system. And but would the New York media be too much for him, though? You know, being that, you know, because that New York media can be rough, man.
Yeah, that now it's a different kind of animal now.
Right.
It is. But he's used. Zion is used to the big lights. He's used to all of that now. But like you said, you know, that New York media can be, you know,
man.
But they'll embrace him. They were wanting him since day one.
Yeah. And really, I think when he got drafted, that's really where he wanted to go. He wanted to go to a big market. And where the lights were bright and the stage was big. And what's up, Stace? Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, going to New York, like you said, the media itself, that is the biggest media outlet.
Pill Doctor, NBA. Yeah.
And it's just, can they handle when they go through those down times? Because that's going to be the true test.
Yeah.
When you're hitting all the shots, you're making the defensive plays, you're winning games, but when those slumps come, because you know it gets mental when you hit a slump and you have all these people nagging. Are you the type that fights your way through the slump, or you hear that outside noise and it makes the slump even longer and worse?
Yep.
Yeah.
And in New York,
you got to be mentally tough in New York, man.
And when they hate you, you know what I'm saying, they'll hate you in the next 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. And see the pill doc is on now. She's a Philly fan. And Philly fans are the same way.
Oh, Philly fans are worse.
Oh man, yeah.
They will cook you and eat you.
And you can hear it while you on the bench.
Oh man.
Weren't they the ones throwing snowballs at Santa Claus or something? That, you know what I'm saying? Yo,
bruh, when Michael Irvin hurt his neck, they cheered, man. Michael Irvin had to retire behind that shit. And they were like, Philly fans, man.
Yes.
Those Philly fans are brutal.
What's up, Mr. Dumashi? Yeah, what's up, bro? Philly fans are rough, man.
I'm trying to tell you, and that's one thing that if anybody can, I mean, you know, after you're gone, they appreciate what you've done for the organization. But while you're there, it's rough.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have to be Allen Iverson-esque.
Right.
You know, for them to get that kind of love consistently.
Yeah. You do, man. Most definitely. Because AI still get love, man, you know. So that you're right.
Barkley gave it goal, but they wouldn't surround him with anybody.
Yeah, Barkley. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He came in on the tail end after, you know, with a championship, and then those guys left, and Philly struggled to put anybody. I mean, let me call out some names that they put around him. Sean Bradley, Manute Bowl, Rick
Damn.
Mahone, Percy Hawkins, Derek Anderson, Johnny Dawkins. Stop me when I come to somebody that you think is a good player.
Yeah.
Hey, you remember?
Yeah.
You remember Clarence Weatherspoon?
Teaspoon.
They drafted him because they figured he was supposed to fill Barkley's shoes.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
There was some big
Didn't work.
man.
Yeah. Barkley was the real deal. The round mound of rebound, baby.
Rare talent.
Yeah.
Josh was talking about how big LeBron was. Barkley put that to the test. I mean, the man was 6'6" and led the league in rebounding. Played defense.
And didn't take no shit.
And
Nope.
wasn't backing down from anybody. He wasn't going to the refs crying.
Exactly.
I'm with myself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Barkley was my kind of guy, man. Back then, you know, they wanted you to be a role model for the kids and all this shit. Barkley was like, fuck that. I ain't no role model. I'm a basketball player. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
And the thing behind that, I saw what he was talking about. What he was saying was, you want me to be a role model for your kids.
Right.
Why don't you be the role model? And, you know, and people took it another way, just like the Allen Iverson practice clip. They took it and they cut what they wanted to use it for, and they ran with it. You know.
Yeah.
But that shit was funny though. We talking about practice, not a game, not a game. Practice. And come to find out, AI say he was drunker than Cooter Brown when he was up there on that damn stage. I said, you know what? That's classic, man. We talk about practice.
Practice.
Not a game. Not a game. Practice.
Because he even asked him, he said, do I not give it my all every night? They was like,
right.
Yeah. He said, okay, so I mean, why you questioning me?
Right.
I mean,
we talking about practice, man.
practice.
Not a game. Stacy got a comment. She said, can you guys tell me, did Barkley ever win a championship? I can't remember if he did or not. No,
Nope.
Stace. He came close when he was with Phoenix, but a man named MJ.
Yep, got in the way of that.
Yeah.
And I saw a thing the other day. Also, you have to look at Olajuwon. Both of them, his draft mates. Olajuwon, when he was in the West and he was in Phoenix, Olajuwon stopped them from getting to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Isaiah McCord. Yeah. Olajuwon was that deal too now.
Right.
Cuzzo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Did you guys watch that movie, National Champions?
No, I didn't see it, man.
Man, listen.
It's on Netflix or what?
Prime.
Prime?
It's
Okay.
on Prime. Y'all got to see that. I don't like how it ended, but I like where they went with it. You know, it's talking about player. It's focused on the quarterback going to play for the national championship game. He said, "I'm gonna sit this game out." What you gonna sit it out for? Man, look, I may be a first round draft pick, but what about these other guys? You know what I'm saying? They paid something because they out here putting their bodies on the line. And these schools are getting all this money, and the NCAA is getting all this money, and we get nothing. He had this thing where he was talking about, he said, okay, the coach gets $5 million a year. He was running through the numbers of how much everybody's getting paid. Then he had like a little pictures pop up. He said, this is my coach's summer home that's being built. This is his other home. And this is the home that he has when he's coaching during the season. And he showed a trailer. And this is the home that my teammate has to go to when the season's over, and he probably won't get drafted. Now he's out here on the field. Now tell me how that's fair.
Yeah, real world shit, man.
Yo, you gotta see that movie. You be like, yeah.
That's why I don't understand why these college football coaches, some of them crying about these guys being able to get paid, man. Coaches have been getting paid since the beginning of time. So now that the players have some leverage, like Dabo, he don't think it's fair, especially when Travis Hunter went to Jackson State. He was like, no way, the kids shouldn't have this kind of control. They here to get an education. But dude, you getting $9 million a year.
Right.
Thank you.
Come on, man. I mean,
is that really his issue?
Right. There we go.
You
Let's
already
peel back the layers a little bit.
right.
Is that really his issue? No.
Right. I
No.
mean,
And
what was let's see, who was it? Chris Webber. They
hey,
had
Deja Simone.
a
Cause
article. They had an article in Sports Illustrated years ago. They were talking about Chris Webber took a class called what was it, underwater basketball? It was Relaxation 101. That was
Mhm.
the class that he took. They were feeding these D1 programs were feeding these athletes bird classes
Yeah.
out in like Refrigerator Perry. The man couldn't read or write.
But he was a hell of a nose tackle, though. God almighty.
hey,
He was the 85 Bears, baby. Big fridge, baby.
The fridge,
Yeah, you're right, though. That didn't help him, as far as education-wise. But are they there to really get an education? Let's be honest.
right?
good question.
And that is, in my opinion, that is the advantage of HBCUs, because in most HBCUs, you're going to class.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
most HBCUs, unless you just showing up for tests, unless you're just that smart where you can show up on test day and pass that test, you're gonna have to go to class.
Pretty much.
I don't.
It's a different relationship with the professors and everything at a HBCU, man.
Exactly.
It's more intimate engagement between the students and the faculty.
Absolutely.
PWIs more times than not, you're just a number.
Yeah.
They don't know whether you showed up or not. They don't know your handwriting. Know if you have somebody else writing your papers for you now, and then now it's being typed, so they really can't tell.
Yeah, they could care less at a PWI, man. As long as you're able to play 1 o'clock on Saturdays,
That's it.
that's what they do. That's it.
And that
That's
was
it.
that was actually the purpose of them allowing the students to come to the schools to begin with. They had to sprinkle in some once segregation came in, and even before segregation, they're sprinkling some here. They say we have such diversity. We have an Asian student and we have a Negro student, a student. You got 15,000 students. You have a Asian student and a Negro.
Imagine that.
Is that really diversity?
No,
That's
no,
Exactly.
no.
fortunately in the sports world, coming up to the days before us, that was the norm. You were only allowed to have a certain amount of Negro players on the team, and I'm going to keep using their word, Negro on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You don't only allow a certain amount of them to get a certain amount of playing time. Now, being that back in those days you couldn't play as a freshman, they were a lot of punching bags on practice teams, especially
Right.
football.
Yeah.
You're fast. Oh, we're gonna use you as because a lot of teams didn't really throw as much. There was a lot of running, so they can run 2 or 3 of you into the ground and pull up the next 2 or 3.
And back then, if brothers played the Q, they'd move you to wide receiver or running back. They didn't think you had the intelligence to run the quarterback position.
Most
You
definitely,
know?
You're right.
definitely. I mean, who was it? Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy did get to play. Who was Tony Dungy, right? Yeah, Tony Dungy did get to play quarterback in college, but when he went to the pros,
Mm-hmm.
DB,
Yeah.
Steelers.
And-
DB.
right. Look at the one Randall L. Played
Yeah.
quarterback at Indiana, went to the Steelers, played wide receiver.
Yeah,
You know.
and
So
Yeah.
he played it all in college though. He did kick,
yeah.
wide receiver, running back, and
He was,
quarterback,
he was a talented dude, man.
Yeah,
and
he was.
point guard.
He was.
Right.
Now, so do you think that the fact that they're letting the shorter quarterbacks play, you being a quarterback, do you think that the 6-foot quarterback now is that really an advancement, or is that just something that they're saying, okay, it can work, so we're just gonna keep trying it until we see that too many of them can't make it?
Well, I think it's evolving. It's evolved to that point because, back in the day, we ran a power eye. We gonna run it at you. James Walker coming at you about 30 times a game, power eye. We just had a power game. Now it's more of a spread. And being a shorter quarterback, you can kind of use your mobility. They can move you out the pocket. See, back when I played, I didn't know nothing about moving out the pocket, and I did that shit on instinct. You know, I wouldn't coach that shit. But now they coaching that, moving the pocket and throwing and only reading half of the field. To be honest, my junior year, I didn't know how to read a defense.
Okay.
I just played off pure talent. I didn't have that kind of coaching, you know, until the summer going into my senior year. That's when I understood cover 3, cover 2, man to man a little more. But up until then, I just played off pure talent, man. They got different type coaching these days, quarterback camps, you know, different schools, and they start them a lot younger. They're catching them in like 12 and under, middle school.
Mhm.
Back then, man, we didn't work out during the summer when I was in middle school. We just had fun and played in the country until football season came around. But now it's like it's an advancement, but I say more evolving. It's evolved more than anything.
Because I give you an example. The All-Star program here, they're in a new league down in Somerville and Charleston.
Mm.
Those kids are like 9 and 10 years old. They're doing 7-on-7s now.
Yeah, yeah. See, we never did 7-on-7s, you know, because I'm gonna tell you what, if I ran a spread offense in high school, come on, man. Oh man, you got James Coaxum out here, Sean Weens. Come on, man. Jeremy Ware out here. Really? Big Norm coming across. Oh man. And I'm in the gun. I was about 6 foot in high school, so I could see over the line.
Yeah.
Bro, you talk about, oh man, I'd have lit. Man, I'd have made it rain on Friday nights, man.
Put me out there, let me run the 9 route. They just had to keep up with me.
Bruh. And all I had to do was get it in the playmaker's hands, man. You get it in Sean Weens' hands, you get it in Smokey Rip hands, you get it in Norman hands. My job easy, you know. And don't forget my boy, Jay Davis, he ran a receiver.
Yeah.
You know, he ran routes to a T, man. You know, he could get open, boom. You know, man, we'd have been, oh my gosh. Too easy, bro.
Yeah, but I remember thinking that, you know, the shorter quarterback was like the black quarterback back in the days. Because remember, we had guys like Doug Flutie to win the Heisman, had to go to the CFL. Charlie Ward won the Heisman, had to play basketball. So when you were that 6 foot and under dude, that's 5'11", 6 foot dude, you had no chance in the league. They weren't going to run anything other than wide receiver, kick returner, if you could move like that.
Right.
But
yeah.
People are getting a chance. They're not the size thing is not holding them back.
I'm gonna tell you a small quarterback I like. I like Kyler Murray, man. He's short, but that kid can play.
Yeah.
You know, he stunk up the field last week, but that's gonna happen. He's young.
He did.
But
I think at that position is similar to playing guard. Mm-hmm. I think if you're undersized, you have to be that much
better.
Special.
Yeah, you have to be that much special in order to you know, excel at that level.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because everyone, I remember, I think it was Coach 2 when he was here, the basketball coach, and he said this applies in any sport. He said it's always good to go into a huddle and look up at your players.
Yeah.
Height is always good.
Right.
But I've always felt, and even back in the days, you know, you had to be that much better. Like, I mean, y'all remember Dana Barrows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little guard, but can shoot.
Michael Adams.
I remember him.
Michael Adams. Yeah. You had to just be exceptional in order to make it. And I mean, heck, Bubba Chuck was only what, 6 feet?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Chuck was only 6 feet.
Yeah.
Look at Muggsy.
Oh. Yeah.
Muggsy was a water bug, man.
Yeah.
Man, he was special.
He was built like a tree stump, though. At that height, that lower center of gravity really gave him an advantage because you really had to push that little 140-pound dude because he wasn't giving up much space. He wasn't giving up anything.
Yeah.
Y'all
ever heard the story of Michael Jordan and Muggsy where Michael called him a little hoe? And after that, he was so defeated mentally, he just couldn't overcome that shit.
Yeah, Muggsy game went downhill after that, man.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Spud, man, that was my guy, man. Spud.
yeah.
he got thanks to him. I started really playing ball. Like, well, Spud can play in the pros. I can play. Shoot,
Yeah.
5'7". I'm not 5'7" yet, but one day I'll get there.
Spud was dunking that shit too, man.
Yeah.
You know? I couldn't dunk and I was taller than Spud. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me see.
Yeah,
So,
what's wrong with that picture?
you know what I'm saying? So I had to like, yo, I can't let this little, you know, I was about 5'8", 5'9" at the time.
Yeah.
Skinny, but you know, a little taller than Spud. I'm like, if he can do it, I know I can do it. And that's when I got that extra motivation. But yeah, Spud was that deal, man.
But you gotta admit, you have to admit, well, in the basketball realm, you know, you're a GM or a coach, or even not even at that level, even at the high school level, you're looking at 2 point guards. One is 5'10", but dynamic and explosive. But you got another point guard that's like 6'9". You know, you're more apt to let me look at that 6'9" point guard. Let me look and see what yeah. And I mean, it just like at the quarterback position, you have your prototypical quarterback is what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yep. 230.
Prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, about 230, 240. So you have him standing on that side, and then on the, you know, standing next to him, you got one that's sitting right at 5'10", 5'11". You know, maybe 6 feet tops.
Still a big man's game, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he plays like he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're more apt to probably still look at that 6'4", 6'5" quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, that was a good question, though, D. That was a very good question. Kyler Murray is an anomaly.
Yeah.
That kid, man.
That dude is a freaking athlete, man. It's crazy.
I tell
That
you,
kid.
when I went to high school, right, and of course I didn't know anybody, and I'm sitting there looking around, and one of my housemates was the manager for the freshman football team. You know, I've always loved football, Sim. You know, I've loved football since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, shoot. Well, I know I'm a little late because this was September, but let me go out for the team. He's like, well, you know what? I'll talk to the coach. So he's like, the coach said, come through. So after school, went there, came through. Coach looked at me and said, the roster's full. Now, mind you, I know I was all of maybe 5 foot. I don't think I hadn't even reached 100 pounds yet. But had cover skills, smooth hips, fast as anything, not scared to tackle. But he just looked at my size. Never mind.
All right.
And in all my years of coaching, those are the kids that had the biggest hearts.
Right.
The undersized one.
Like my nephew James.
Yep.
Yeah, and see, Jam always had heart for what he lacked in stature. And the thing of it is, but now in your defense though, D, back then none of us were really all that big.
I know, right? Yeah, you got a point, man.
I graduated, I think 175 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. I graduated 127.
Wow.
127, bro.
Like I said, we 127. Now, G, how big was Sean? Sean couldn't have been.
I said I give Sean about 150. 155 maybe. I
was 20 years old.
Yeah, I mean, but see, back then we were a lot tougher, man.
Well,
yeah,
you know, we were built a little. We were a lot tougher. We could take them hits, and you know, we'd been playing since we were small, so our body had built up to it. Yeah. Where now they coming off the couch with these video games, trying to play football and complaining, man. You know, so yeah, we came up different, man.
Dude. Yeah.
What Sim was talking about, another story where it was where we can really notate it. Remember where Russell Wilson started in college?
Wisconsin.
NC State.
Oh yeah, and transferred to Wisconsin. That's right.
Yeah.
Transferred to Wisconsin.
They had a prototype offense, running a prototype offense.
6'7" Mike Glennon.
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot about
that
Mike Glennon.
bum.
Yeah.
Man, the Bears signed that bum to over $12 million 1 year, man. He ain't did shit. Yeah, you're right though, man.
He had some.
I forgot.
Wait a minute. I think we had him this year.
Yeah, y'all played us when he was at quarterback. Man, I think y'all beat us that game, didn't you? Or what?
No, y'all cut our ass this year.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all did. Yes, y'all did.
Now, because we had Mike Glennon on the run that day. Our defense showed up.
But that's what I'm saying. Mike Glennon 6'7". You're more apt to look at that taller guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it may not be fair, or whatever, but it's
right.
And
I think that's what kind of happened to my son, man. He was good, but he was short. Mm-hmm. You know, so a lot of colleges, he had a good film, he could play, but I think if my son was 6 feet, he'd have been an All-American, man. But
the beauty of football and offenses, there were offenses that catered to his strengths.
Right, they were. He ran it now. He ran that spread and pistol. He ran it, and I told him, man, if I ran that offense in high school, I'd have lit it up. So yeah, he ran that shit, man. He beat John McKissick 3 times.
Dang.
See, look at that.
See, yeah.
And it can work in the pros too. Well, it did in the 90s with what's my man name? Oh my gosh, remember Joe Hamilton?
Ham. Yeah, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
He was 5'10", 6 foot at the most with shoes on.
He was.
And Tampa Bay was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had the right
he ran it.
His skills.
And see Kobe, with Kobe's size, he could have gone to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech was running that speed option.
Yeah.
And in that system, their quarterbacks were not big at all.
Right. They ran that triple option, speed option type shit.
Yeah. So
what is that, man? You got some pussy in your lap, man? What's that?
Look at little Bob.
The hell is that?
Tell Stacy to cover her ears. He got the loyal kind in his lap.
Man, got that pussy in your lap, man.
Now I'm thinking, what are some players who had the size, who you thought had the skill, and just showed that they were overrated? That size is overrated. I guess that's the best way to put it.
What sport? Which sport?
Green.
What's up, Chris?
Green.
Size. I'll have to say mostly in your lineman area, size can be overrated. You know.
You pick a sport, and it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're looking for a position or specific athlete.
It doesn't matter. Either way that you thought somebody they were bigger and stronger, but it just didn't matter. They just couldn't do it. You can look at Jamarcus Russell if you want.
Him too. Him too. I'll take it back. I'll take it back to I think it was the 80s. Tony Mandarich.
I was gonna bring him up, man. Yeah.
Bust.
He wasn't much of a bust because I think didn't he stay in the NFL like 10 years?
Only because
he was roided up.
Yeah, only because he was big.
Yeah. That's how he became the first pick and the first lineman ever to be drafted number 1. Mm-hmm. You know, he was athletic and big. He could play, but he couldn't last on them roids, man.
Mm-mm.
You know.
I got one. And if Prime was here, he'd agree. Kwame Brown. 7 feet and trash.
Now, but
say that when they've been in the league, when they stay in the league, 10, 12 years.
Right.
That's just hard for me to.
Right, yeah, he been in the league 11 years, and it's hard to stay in the league 11 years if you
Right.
trash, man.
Yeah.
He's 7 feet.
That's what I'm saying, but he played 11 years, and if you trash, you ain't gonna stick around for 11 years, though, bro.
7-footer.
That's a good point, but
Yeah.
it's like I said earlier. You're more apt to go with that taller athlete.
Okay.
If
Right.
you're 7, and then even and see with him, what worked out for him was he was still in the league at the time where big men were a little more coveted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he couldn't shoot, so he wouldn't last today.
Oh no, it's a different NBA now. But
Yeah, so
for him to last 11 years, yeah, he probably didn't reach full potential, but he was one of the few players that played with Jordan, Iverson, and Kobe.
okay.
You know?
And I
Yeah.
said
So
you have other players who they'll call journeymen that did the same thing. They
Yeah.
looked at bust. Now I think the reason why some people say he's a bust is because he was the top pick. But
mhm.
being the top pick, if you're not in the right situation, it doesn't matter. I mean, you have like what's my man named that from you
Greg Olson.
one pick.
See, Greg Olson was actually good. He couldn't stay healthy.
Mhm.
Now he was more of a bust
Greg Oden.
than Kwame.
Yeah.
If you want to put it in the bust category, I don't consider Kwame a bust, but Greg Olson.
All right, so then now comes my question to y'all too. What's your definition of bust?
Barely making it to the second contract. Get it? Barely making it to the second contract if you can get the second contract.
Christian Laettner was a bust. To me.
Oh, but think about it. Think of his skill set. Christian Laettner can play now. He was 6'10" and can shoot. He could play now. He just couldn't play then.
He was soft to me, man. He was just soft.
That doesn't play now.
Well, exactly. He would fit in the league now. He would fit in the league now. That's the funny thing about it, because when I saw his 30 for 30 and I gauged his skill set, and I said, you know something? I said Christian Laettner could play now. The way the league is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be, and like I said, 6'10" and can stretch the floor.
For back then, as heralded as he was at Duke, I expected him to come in the league and, light it up a little more, but he couldn't even get no runs on the Dream Team. He sat on the sideline and watched them boys, man.
We had a player that we picked up from Tennessee at Pittsburgh. I can't remember his name now because he just ticks me off. The boy was 6'5", 350, interior D lineman. He's not with us anymore.
Who you talking about, Hargrave?
No, Hargrave went to State. This guy
okay.
Tennessee. I can't remember his name right now. But think about these measurements I just told you.
6'3",
he got down to 350.
He was just a fat ass.
And got 350. You're a nose tackle. And you can't push the pile at that size?
See? He can't play. But your boy Chris Green said none of the Blue Devils do until recently.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We talked about that before. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got a handful of, how long did Coach K coach? What, 40, 50,000 years?
Something like that.
And you can only name like 5 players
that were exceptional.
But
you
had them boys in the tournament every year. You had people who were up for Mr. Basketball, the Naismith Award and all that every year.
Yeah.
But
system players.
Right. It was that system he built, man.
Right. He had system players, man.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so let me ask you to this. Do you think injury, because I don't know if you should actually ding a person because of injury. It was plenty of really, really talented people, but the fact that they couldn't stay healthy. Now, would you consider someone like that still a bust?
It
Because
depends.
like I said, Greg Oden was good. He just couldn't stay healthy.
But he didn't. He did okay when he was healthy. It wasn't like he was Brandon Roy. It wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So if you want to talk about the production of what they did when they were healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But he didn't come out there. Yeah, okay, yeah, he had a good game for a rookie. But
Yeah.
what about Brandon Roy had a good game no matter what year you were in. But he
Yeah.
did. They
Yeah.
That kid was the real deal, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry he got injured, though. You know,
Yeah.
I'd have liked to see him go head up against Kobe during that time because
Oh man.
he was bringing it to Kobe now. And
Real.
Kobe even said it. Brandon Roy has no weaknesses.
Yeah.
Kobe said that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Brandon Roy was the real deal.
After Grant Hill had that ankle injury and he had the surgery and he was on his way back and it got infected. I mean, look at what he was doing
Yeah.
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah.
So he
And Penny.
full career.
Yeah. And Penny.
Yeah.
And he was when he started getting hurt, man, it was when it rained, it poured.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just like every other week he
know.
was getting hurt.
I know, man. The injury is
Yeah.
that's part of the game, really. If you think about it, it's possible to happen. You know.
So
Yeah. Well, look at Yao.
okay.
Yao could have been playing a little longer, man. He just kept having them foot issues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 And Yao was good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yao was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back with you guys. I'm gonna have one player from the distant past, one player from the more recent future, or more recent player, and I'm gonna ask you two, which do you think would have had more of a long-term effect on this sport? One playing basketball, one playing football. Now, the one basketball, Michael Ray Richardson. The one football, Joshua Cribbs. Yeah.
Man.
Joshua Cribbs, from what I remember, he was like a Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm.
You multiple. He was kind of like, he reminded me of even though the one I'm trying to remember came after him, Jabril Peppers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When he was at Michigan, that dude, both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He always had the ball in his hand. Just
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Athlete. Yeah.
Yeah, just straight up athlete. Joshua Cribbs was like that. Joshua Cribbs, he was catching the ball, running with it.
He could throw it, play quarterback and everything.
He was remarkable.
He was like in a top 3 receiver in the league in Cleveland with different quarterbacks. I mean, how do you build that type of chemistry with anywhere between 3 to 5 quarterbacks in one season? And he's still killing them.
Yeah.
Real deal, man. You know? And just to speak on Michael Ray Richardson, the boy was good. You saw the 30 for 30 on him, man.
He's tough.
I met him.
He was tough.
Yeah.
When my cousin Dean was coaching in the USBL, I didn't know who he was. And then I was telling my older cousin, I met some dude named Michael Ray. They said, you met Sugar? I said, I guess that.
Yeah, that's what they used to call him, man.
Yes, sir.
I knew him, but we kind of young then. But once I saw that 30 for 30, I'm like, this dude went up against some top-notch dudes, man, and spanked ass.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Like you said, he wasn't just an offensive player. You mess with that steal, that important steal at the end of the game. You gonna mess around, he'll get 4 or 5 steals in a game. You know what I'm saying? And still kill you on the offensive end.
Take it to you, bro. He didn't back down from nobody, man.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't gotten into drugs the way he did, what type of impact do you think he would have had on the league? Because remember, this was before Jordan even came in the league. He was building that name. Could that have been him that wound up getting all that marketing?
He'd have gotten some of it. I think he'd have gotten some of it.
I mean, he was playing with the Knicks.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Did him and Bernard King play on the same team or no?
well, he was before.
I think
He was
I think he's
before?
next when first
Okay.
to the Knicks. So he's still in that market. So not
Mm-hmm.
is he a productive player?
That would have helped.
And,
He being in a big market like that would have helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like I said, between the two players, I see you, Chris. He said the best player in the NBA right now is Ja Morant. Most exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's on his way though. He's definitely on his way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So between those two players, fellas, who do you think? Who do you think would have made the biggest impact on that sport? You know, I got to give you something tough. I can't give you nothing too easy.
Man, I'll say Michael Ray.
It would have to be Michael Ray.
Right. Because the NBA was transcending just before Jordan, right after Dr. J. Him and Bernard King, he was in New Jersey, and I think King was with the Knicks. And plus you had, other superstar. The NBA was full of superstars back then. When you came out of college, you was a superstar.
Yeah.
So I think more transcending would have been Michael Ray Richardson, man. And Mike ran the ladies, bro.
Of the ladies.
The ladies. Sugar Ray, baby.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Big time. You just see the points, and you play for the Knicks. Oh my gosh, you got a harem waiting on you.
Come on now. Come on now. And you remember Clyde Frazier and what's my other name?
Earl Monroe.
Yeah. Them boys were like Cadillacs back then, boy.
Oh yeah. Now I'm a little biased. And I'm gonna tell you why I definitely wouldn't have picked Joshua Cribbs. He still played around the same time as there was this certain Samoan football player that played for the Steelers, who in my regards is the most exciting football player I have ever seen in my life. And he only played on one side of the ball.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The most exciting, other than Barry Sanders. But that's expected on offense. You're expected to be dynamic on offense. That damn Troy Polamalu, Lord have mercy.
He was a ball player, man.
Oh man, I loved watching him. He is the most exciting football player I've ever seen, man. I mean, that dude, the stuff that he did, and that one play where he timed it and dove over the line and sacked my man.
No.
Not knowing the snap count.
Which time?
What you say? Which time?
Yeah.
Hey, man, that is just, and I mean, and sure, Ed Reed was a better ball hawk, but not by much. Troy still brought more to the table than Ed Reed. Troy could cover, and he would help you on run support.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a quick question right here from Stacy, man. She said, do you think Big Ben will retire? And do you think Tom Brady should retire if he doesn't win a Super Bowl? I think Big Ben will retire, but I don't think Brady going nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Brady don't win it, that's going to fuel him to come back.
Fuel him to come back. Yes. Yeah. That dude is like psoriasis. He ain't going nowhere.
Brady trying to put it out of reach of who was the greatest. You hear me?
Exactly.
He playing for legacy now. He ain't playing for money. He ain't playing for fame. He playing for legacy, man.
I'm still not impressed, but
Come on, DR.
I'm not okay. I'm impressed that he does certain things that the average quarterback should be able to do. I'm not going to do it. I've watched too much football. I can't put him as the greatest. I can't put him ahead of quarterbacks that I've seen play with less talent. And
like who?
Marino, Moon, Elway. I'm not gonna say Montana. Fouts. You understand? Even my man Terry Bradshaw, he had two weapons to throw to. Two. He didn't have. You know what? What's my man named Frenchie Foucault?
But Brady didn't have no receivers either until he got Randy Moss.
Brady had a 3-receiver set with somebody. Now if you look,
he never had no Pro Bowl receivers until he got Moss.
Aaron Hernandez and Gronk.
No, but
Those
this was even before those guys.
right.
This was when he had
Right.
Troy Brown
Yeah.
and Jabbar Gaffney.
Yeah, players
And
like that. He had no names and made them Pro Bowlers. So
I'm
it's kind of the
surprised. I
same
remember those.
situation.
Okay. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that, G. I'm glad you
Mhm.
mentioned that because they're talking about what he's doing now. But didn't Jameis Winston make his starting wide receivers Pro Bowlers?
Okay.
The
I'm
same
not
two
sure, man.
the same two starting receivers that he has at Tampa were Pro Bowlers the
Mike Evans.
year prior to him getting there with Jameis
Mike Evans.
at quarterback.
Mike Evans. Yep.
Mike Evans and who else?
What's that boy name? I can't remember his name right now. Both of them.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. The white boy. Played at Penn State or somewhere. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that's a valid point. That's a valid point.
You know what I'm saying? And before that, how many starting DBs was he really challenging? You get other quarterbacks, they don't care because they don't have that privilege of just dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and dunk, dink and
You
dunk.
gotta take what the defense give you, bro.
Yeah, but you got other quarterbacks who's going to challenge the other team's DBs. You think Marino didn't have a slot man or a tight end or a running back that's really going to get him anything? He challenged the other team's best two corners.
Well, Farrell Edmonds wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad tight end.
He was all right. But
yeah, he was.
We're talking about on the level of anything that Tom Brady's had at tight end.
True. Okay.
Right. But that's tight end. You still got to have them number ones or, that X, Y, and Z receiver, man.
But like I said, G.
Well, I don't know, G, because I don't know, because Phillip Rivers, his career was Antonio Gates.
Yeah.
The meat of his career was Antonio Gates.
And Phillip never won a Super Bowl.
No.
He didn't have that X, Y, or Z.
No, that's true.
But peep this, G. You take Brady, top 5 receivers of his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5. 2 of them are tight ends, and 2 played in the slot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he wasn't using that Y and Z, like you said. The meat of his career was playing against the matchups with the tight end, because Aaron Hernandez and Gronk are in the top 5. They're in the top 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So being that Brady didn't have those weapons, that even shows more of his greatness.
Well,
because he still got the rings.
He had
the hardware.
Yeah, but he's had the privilege of playing in a bum division too for a long time.
DR.
That's 6 wins right there.
Every year.
Off the muscle.
He's had 5 defenses.
Yeah.
That top 5 defenses. I mean, is it hard? Gee, I'm gonna ask you as a quarterback, would it be harder for you to throw to your number 1 receiver being covered by the number 1 cornerback, or would it be harder for you to throw to your tight end being covered by a safety?
I'm going tight end.
Or a linebacker.
I'm going tight end. That's a matchup problem, because I think of Big Norm, and I could just see Big Norm over everybody else and just get it to him.
But you better because it's the easier throw.
He's a bigger target, yeah. So I didn't have to be as accurate with Norm, because he could go get it. 1 hand, 2,
You just made my point. You didn't have to be as accurate as throwing it. So how is he the greatest if you're comparing him to people who didn't have that privilege and still produce?
Now, when you say greatest, are we talking about most yards, most passing yards, most touchdowns, most Super Bowls? How are we grading the greatest?
Best quarterback ever. I'm talking about pure skill. I'm not talking about accolades.
Pure skill?
Best quarterback ever?
Pure skill. Warren Moon.
See, I'm with you on that. Because
if you're going pure skill now.
You know what?
If we grading the greatest ever by skill, Warren Moon.
You're right. I got it, because he's had the pleasure of having Jerry Rice and John Taylor. So yeah, I take that back.
If we going pure skill, pure quarterbacking skill, Warren Moon.
Warren Moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because you got to add in his time in the CFL too.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
they just didn't have
Yeah.
complete teams, which is why you got to throw the accolades out. You have a 53-man roster. You have offense, defense, and special teams punting, special teams covering the punt, special teams kicking, special teams covering the kick. You only playing one side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I can't say greatest football player, but even greatest quarterback. Like I said, I'm breaking it down to go even farther because you can be good, but you have all those other phases that you have no hand in.
Right.
Exactly. That's why it's
Right.
hard to. That's why it's hard to say the greatest football player. You have to do it by position.
Yeah. Randall Cunningham was pretty good, and late Steve McNair. Yeah. Cunningham,
Yeah.
Cunningham had nobody to throw to. Mike Quick, who in the sandwich is Mike Quick? Barnett.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Barnett, Mike Quick. Yeah,
Fred
you're right.
Barnett.
Yeah.
But man, Randall would light it up, man. He get them long legs to going. Remember that Monday night game against the Giants when he was rolling to the right and Carl Banks hit him and he put his hand on the ground, got up and fired it in the end zone to
Yeah.
Keith Jackson, the big tight end. I was like, yo, Sim,
I used to hate
he made your Giants look, you
I
know.
used to hate it. I
And
used to hate it.
Carl Banks was a big time stud linebacker. Now this wasn't no small dude. Banks used to bring the hat on your ass. And when I seen him do that to Carl Banks, I was like, yo.
And
This
I'm wondering if it's on YouTube or not.
Yeah, I saw it.
Randall was scrambling, and I want to say it was either Carl Banks or Pepper Johnson making a beeline for him. Well, Randall called he called out Keith Byers. He said, "Come get this for me, man." Keith Byers came from nowhere and cleaned that dude clock. I
Yeah.
can't remember which linebacker it was. Oh my goodness!
And Byers was a stud.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
the only offensive
255
weapon,
playing running back.
that was it.
Go ahead.
I said the only weapon Randall had was Jackson. That was it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was it.
Who was his running back then?
Keith Byers.
It was Keith Byers.
Yeah, Keith Byers, yeah. Yeah. Byers
Imagine him with Donovan's running back. Imagine him with Westbrook.
Ooh.
Randall was it Brian Westbrook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been dangerous, bro. That would have been dangerous, man.
What's my man name that played the first black quarterback win the Super Bowl?
Doug Williams.
Doug Williams.
So imagine if they would have given him something. Remember, he toiled away most of his career in Tampa Bay.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Delta Diva, Spring 91. How you doing?
So, there's a lot of quarterbacks out there who didn't have the privilege of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I can't put Joe Montana in there because early on in his career, he had Clark, he had Rice, he had Taylor, he had Tyler.
And he had Bill Walsh in that West Coast offense where nobody knew what that was about but Bill and the 49ers.
Right,
you didn't know how to defend it.
Right.
So Bill Walsh was the mastermind coming up with that West Coast offense, man.
One of the few coaches that could win it, that won it all in the pros and in college. Not too many of them.
Brent Jones. Yep. Oh, Chris said Brady had top 5 defenses. Yeah. And see, I was talking to somebody about that a while back. People didn't really realize that. They stayed Tom Brady, the offense. No. Belichick is defensive minded.
He's a defensive genius, man.
Parkgate. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Go and throw it in there, DR. Throw it in there. I know what you're talking about. Go ahead and throw it in there.
And listen, you already know if you know what the offense is playing is calling. Oh, they calling that play. Hey, we already playing for this. This is what we calling. Don't worry.
Every team does that.
Huh? But the commissioner
does that.
Every team.
Huh?
The commissioner's not covering up for every team. The commissioner was shredding papers.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
But you still got to play it out, DR. You still got to play it out.
That's why I'm not impressed. Like I said, if you have to have, you got to go through all. Bill Belichick came out of his mouth and said, "Yeah, I know we aren't supposed to do that, but I did it anyway."
They got caught.
I'm not even.
Bob Kraft was his boy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel you, Dr. I feel some kind of way too, man. If you spy gating, you know, but
Right.
you know, they wanted Brady to be, you know, they wanted that for Brady,
Oh, yeah.
man.
I said it once before, and I'm gonna say it again. I want y'all to look back. When did the Patriots get good?
To the around the millennium, 2000, 2001.
After what event?
After Drew Bledsoe got hurt.
Oh, no, 9/11.
Oh, 9/11, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Patriots. Because before 9/11, they were looking like some hot garbage. But all of a sudden, after 9/11, the Patriots turn it around and become the team to beat.
But think about it. When Drew Bledsoe was playing, they got close a couple times too. Now, when Drew was playing, Drew Bledsoe until he got hurt.
But remember, there were a couple games before 9/11. That's what I'm saying. Before 9/11, the first couple of games of the season, they look like some hot garbage.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think if Drew hadn't gotten hurt, they could, you know, they went to what, like an AFC championship or something with Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, I still believe they would have been pretty successful with Drew.
Yeah, because Drew was balling, man. You know, until he got hurt. And,
Chris said think about the QBs who had great wide receivers and couldn't get it done. See the Falcons.
Oh shit.
After 9/11.
What's up, Slick St. Nickel? What's up, bro?
Yeah,
Nick. What up, Brody?
Falcons can't get right.
Right.
Right now.
Yeah.
It's just I don't understand it. The Bengals were like that for a while. The Bengals had wide receivers. They just, I don't know what it was, because Houshmandzadeh and Chad Johnson and you know what I'm saying. They had. I'm sitting there watching us play them 2 games. I'm like, how are we gonna stop these jokers? But they just couldn't get right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right, man. You're right. But hey, fellas, we gonna wrap it up, man. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to leave the audience with? This is part 2. Yeah, Sim, you dropped out, man, but we can still hear your audio. So if y'all want to leave the audience with some final thoughts, some things to think about until we get back again, man, go ahead.
I just want to appreciate everybody that came in part 1 and part 2. It's going to be on G's page. It's going to be on my YouTube, DR Presents. I'm always going to label it Funky Uncles, episode whatever it is. Subscribe. Hey, I'm up to 50 subscribers now. I didn't even think I'd get this high.
Hey, but, congratulations, brother. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you. See, Keith joined in. He got the logos for us and all that. Everybody stay safe, and we'll be talking to you next time. I don't even know what the topic going to be, but we'll be talking to you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Salute. Appreciate you, brother. DJ KR, man. We was looking for you to join us at some point, brother. You know, we about to wrap.
Steelers for life.
Yeah. Hey, Sim, we can hear you, man. You got any final thoughts, Simmy?
Hey, man, like D said, man, whatever pops up, man, we'll speak on it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. I appreciate you guys, man. I can't do it without you. We the Funky Uncles, episode 11, part 1 and 2. We building. We appreciate all the viewership, all the engagement, comments, questions. They all welcome. We can't do this thing without the audience, so we definitely appreciate you guys, man. So until the next time, good night, Stace. Y'all be blessed, be safe, and we'll see y'all next week. Salute.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.